Hello, please, is Ohima and Ohineba on the platform? Hello? Hello?
Hi, good evening.
Okay, so we'll take two songs from Ohima and Ohineba.
Praise Him, give Him your praise, and give Him your thanks. The Lord our God is praise. Give Him your praise, and give Him your praise. For the Lord our God is great. Praise Him, give Him your praise, and give Him your thanks. The Lord our God is great. Give Him your praise, and give Him your thanks. For the Lord our God is great. He created you and me. He created all the world. He created you and me. He created all the world and everything that is in it. It is awesome. Give Him your adoration and give Him all the glory and give Him all the praise. For the Lord our God is great. He created you and me. He created all the world. He created you and me. He created all the world and everything that is in it. This is awesome. Give Him your adoration and give Him all the praise and give Him all the glory. For the Lord our God is great. Praise Him, praise Him, give Him your praise and give Him your thanks. The Lord our God is great. Give Him your praise and give Him your thanks. For the Lord our God is great.
Please, I'm going to have to sing another song by myself. Once sada, usale jumbo, bekamfu, apatinindara, kutu story wo, bayo, beji, ayo. Uenyamia, unsisada, usavejuma, bekamfu, apajininara, kutu sorry wo, bayo. but you are you. Why are you? But you are you. And that's you. If I tell I give it all to you, but you are fool. Sorry, whoa. Why are you? But you, why are you? Amen. Yeah, you. But, amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen. God bless you, Ohima and Ohineba. That was a beautiful ministration. God bless your ministry. Okay, so tonight I'm co-hosting the youth meeting with Elder Frank Tony Shen. And so I would invite him to introduce to us tonight's speaker and the program that we are having, the topic. So I would invite Elder Frank Tony Shen to introduce tonight's speaker to us. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, and thank you. Happy Sabbath, everyone, and welcome again to this evening's program. I think we know with the invites, the kind of program we're having this evening. We're talking about mentorship. It's a prelude to what is going to happen tomorrow. But before I go on, again, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has joined. Thank you, Julia, for starting us off. Ohene and Ohima, wonderful. Thank you. God continue to bless your ministry. Continue to bless us with such wonderful songs. Again, I will entreat all of us, if you have not invited a friend to join us this evening, please do. We're going to talk about mentorship. We're not taking the wind out of the sail of what's going to happen tomorrow, but we just want to begin already today, get ourselves excited for the mentorship program that will happen tomorrow, the launch of it, a special one. I'm so excited because it's for me, mentorship is one thing that has helped shape a lot in my life, and I really am happy to see the opportunity for us all to be able to partake in it. Before we get into it, tonight what is going to happen is that we are going to have someone from the mentorship board of SESDAC to at least brief us on what to expect tomorrow. But before then also, I have some few friends here. I call them mentorship friends or mentoring friends. They will share with us their experiences along the way and how mentorship or mentoring has helped them overcome challenges and what we should expect. And we can then also ask them questions. If you have any questions, we can ask. And I have other friends also who have joined, who will be on standby for any questions, also experienced with mentoring others. So tonight, please, let's ensure that we are all on board. Before we begin, I want to share some few quotes on mentoring, just about 7 of them. And then I would call the first person to give us a few words or tell us about their experience when it comes to mentoring. J. Laurie Norris, he says, if you cannot see where you are going, ask someone who has been there before. And it is so true. I remember my very first time I was going abroad, my father-in-law told me this. He said, look, ask, never be afraid or shy to ask. It's better to ask than to get lost. If you don't know where you are going, it is okay to ask someone. And the best thing that can happen to you is to ask someone who has been there before. And that is what mentoring brings to us. Mentors are usually people who have gone through the mill, they have the experience, and they can guide you so you don't make the same mistakes. So mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. John Crosby. It's really an ear to pick, an ear to listen, a brain to pick. It's so nice to go to someone with some idea and you seem confused. And as soon as you start talking about it, you will see that you get a bigger picture and you walk away smiling. That is what mentoring is about. Is a mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself and helps bring it out of you. Bob Proctor, you know, someone who can see, he can see beyond you because he's seen it before, because he's seen it in himself, he's seen it with others. So it's easier for him to see that ability, that talent, and says, I'm tapping into this. I'm getting you on board. I'm showing the right direction to go. And that person will open the world to you like never before. And it helps you in where you are going. Oprah Winfrey says, a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. All of us, we all need a shoulder to lean on. We all need someone to lean on. To see further, you need to stand on someone's shoulders. And that is what a mentor is. Someone who allows you to see the hope in yourself. Sometimes you will be so down. Just talking to a mentor, just that guidance. You may have failed in something or things are not going the way you expect. But having that interaction, that structured approach, you know, what is different with mentorship is the fact that it's structured. It's something that you go through on time, specific times, and you know that you can go to that person and stand on that person's shoulders. It says, spoon feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon. A mentor is someone who will not spoon feed you. A mentor is someone who would guide you to know the right things to do, to make the right choices. That's E.M. Foster. Maya Angelou, she says, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Getting into that environment with that mentor, someone who makes you feel that you can achieve all things. Because after all, the Bible tells us that we can achieve far greater than we know. Why? Because God lives in us. And the God who lives in us is the God of impossibilities. When you have that person, that mentor that takes you along, that makes you to feel that way, there's nothing that is impossible before you. And finally, Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, the famous Isaac Newton says this, if I have seen further, it is by standing on shoulders of giants. And SESDAC, Sacramento State Seventh-day Adventist Church, the youth, faith giants. Isaac Newton, the scientist, is telling us that if he has ever seen further, it's simply because he stood on the shoulders of giants. And that is what mentors are all about. And that is mentorship. So this evening, we are going to go through, like I said, experiences of others. We're going to go through a brief from the mentorship board. And then tomorrow itself, the big day will happen. So thank you again for joining us. And I believe that at the end of this evening, your life will also be enriched. You will also be ready to be mentored or to give or say that you would want to mentor someone. Without much ado, I would like to stop here. I'd like to invite our first mentoring friend. Let me mention it like that. I just call them mentoring friends or mentorship friends. These people have gone through mentorship, structured mentorship, and they're here this evening to share their experiences with us. The first person that we appreciate you, the time that you are coming to spend with us, and I know that you are giving back by being here with us this evening. I'll call on Ya Amuakwa Kumaho, Mrs. Ya Amuakwa Kumaho. Please, yeah, if you are on, you are first to go. Thank you.
everybody.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, I can see you in the
Hello.
office. Yeah.
Yes, I'm still in the office, so I still have my nose mask on. Forgive me.
No, that's fine. Please go ahead.
Yes. Hi everyone. I'm honored to be here, honestly, to share my experience in this journey. And I think FC's introduction has said it all. Yeah. Today, if I can see further, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. Yes. So, and I don't want to be selfish. So I would encourage us all to also find our giants and climb onto their shoulders so that we can all see further and do greater things. Okay, so my name is Yam Wakwa, as FT said, and yes, I just got married, so okay, so my name is Mrs. Kumaho. I sometimes forget this. Yeah, so my name is Mrs. Kumaho, and I work with APM Terminals Ghana. Yes, and I'm with the operations department. How did I get into a mentorship program? So how I found my mentor was very interesting. It wasn't any programmed one or anything. I was just walking by one day and then I saw him around and I was like, hey, you, I'll come and see you. And I laughed and I walked away. So I was like, okay, you can come. So I went to see my mentor, and honestly, I didn't even know what I was going to see him for. I just said, hey, you, I'll come and see you. And he said, come around. So I went and was like, okay, so what is it? Then before I realized I was in a program, he had enrolled me into a mentorship program, and trust me, it was fun. Even though I didn't go with the intention, I didn't know, I just said, I'll come and see you. I just went, I was asking questions. And before I realized we had started, and it was fun. We had a scheduled meeting. We're meeting every other 2 weeks. Yes, and there were goals that we had to meet. So before we meet, have to go through whatever you're supposed to do. So it wasn't a one-way thing that he was always pouring on me. No, I also had to play my part. So if you are going in for a mentor, you should be ready to also work your part to make it an interesting journey. So yes, I was also doing my part. So there were targets we're supposed to meet. So initially we scheduled a session of 12 meetings, and trust me, by the end of the second one, it felt like I had been there for over a year, because it was always an amazing time to look up to, and it was interesting because I don't know if it was my mentor that made it interesting, but it was very interesting. Yes. And also, and I didn't know about a mentorship program. Yes, I knew people had mentors, like they used to, there are mentors around, but it had never occurred to me that it's actually a program that people go through. I thought it was just, oh, there are people you look up to, you just walk to them and then you ask them some questions whenever you are in need or whenever you are in doubt or you need some answers. They just walk to those people and then you get those answers. But no, it's actually a whole structure. Like the one I went to with my mentor opened my eyes to the fact that mentorship is not spontaneous, it's an intentional activity. So you should find, and then you should be able to be ready to go through the whole process. Yes. And then also one thing that made my journey interesting was questions. Because if you don't ask questions and you just go and sit there, and your mentor is not someone who maybe can stir up conversations, it might be boring for you because you yourself, you're not asking questions, and he also doesn't really know what to ask you, especially if your mentor doesn't know you. You understand? So you have to go all out, say it, like you're not wrong. It might sound silly, it might sound like, oh, what am I talking about? Yes, we all don't know it all. So whatever it is, just say it. Once you open up about it, you give him ideas as to what is going on in your mind, what you are thinking about, and it gives him ideas on what to talk about or discuss with you. So if you go up and then you don't open up, you make the journey difficult for the two of you. You might find it boring, and then you might end up also finding him boring, but that might not be the case. So you need to open up and then ask questions. You understand? It might sometimes go off your schedule. Sometimes it's not something you plan to talk about. Something can just come up and then you need to talk about it. Yes. Because if you're having a mentor, you should be able to trust the person. So maybe it's about work, but you end up talking about your personal life. Yes. Like you might have issues where you might have issues along the line and you need some guidance. So you have to know, who is this mentor of mine? Is it just someone about work, or is it someone who is also in the spiritual guidance as well? You understand? So it depends on you. In choosing your mentor, you should know your values and then choose a mentor who also has similar values. Because if you are Christian and then you go and then you choose a Muslim mentor, fine, there are some things he might guide you on, but when it comes to spirituality, you might end up being confused. So in choosing your mentor and all that, you need to factor all these things in. Yes, and then I think my expectations were more than met. My mentor says we finished our program, but I don't think so, because every now and then I just call or maybe walk in or just come up with something, and he's still there. And yeah, so my expectations were more than met, and then it also opened me up to a whole lot of opportunities I didn't even know about. And now, I look back and I think that, if I had gotten this earlier, I would have been seeing further than what I'm seeing now. Yes. So with all this, I'm sure I'll definitely recommend mentoring for you. And I don't think I have to give you any extra details as to why or why not I am recommending. Yes. From what I have shared so far, I think you've concluded, and then you know that going in for a mentor is a sure due. But just make sure that you know your values, and then you know the kind of mentor you're going in for. And you also know the goal you want to achieve in going in for a mentor. You might be like me, you might not know the goal you're going in for, but make sure you share similar values. You understand the kind of person you're going up for, to ask for the person to be your mentor. And then with my mentor, I was always going there, oh, I want to see, I'll see. Then he was like, but you've not asked me. Yeah, so there are people who would want you to ask, please, I'd like you to be my mentor. It's not everyone that will assume that, oh, okay, you come up to me with questions and so you would like me to no. Some people ask you, would want you to ask them, please, I'd like you to be my mentor. Then if he or she agrees, then you can start. But there are others too, when you start it, they know the direction you would like to go. So you should know the kind of people you're going to and how to go about things. Yes. So yeah, it's been an exciting journey for me. Personally, I even pulled my husband in. My husband, at that time we were dating. So it was the two of us. It's now a family affair. So yes, it's been an interesting journey. So I would encourage you to be ready for the program and look out for who you would like to choose to be your mentor, and be ready to dedicate your time and every effort you have to make it a successful and interesting one. Like I said, if it's going to be interesting, it depends on you. So if you want to make it interesting, come out with all the questions, all the doubts, all the confusion, everything that you have. And you might not get it 100%, but at least you'll be able to understand some things and move about some things. Yes. So I think my journey so far has been amazing, and I'm grateful to be here, to be sharing this experience with you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You forget to remind you. We thank you. And yes, experience, as she was be telling us about more of a mentoring at the workplace. And then she's saying that she still continuing with even though her structure that one is done, maybe she's in a different phase. But yeah, we thank you. We appreciate you coming this evening, joining us to share your experience with us. The next is also one, it's also a mention for. Great. The next is also a mention. Please, if you have questions, you can send out your questions to Julia, my co-host, or to Saleh or Ebo, and we'll take them at the end. We'd like to take all the experiences, soak them in, get the rep from the mentorship board, and then we can take the questions at the tail end. I'll again invite another mentoring friend, also someone I believe is also had a mentoring program at the workplace to share his experience with us. Michael Lansa, please, if you're on, you can unmute and share your experience with us. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Elder Frank Tonation. Yes, so I'm really excited to be here. Hi, I'm sorry, my network is quite shaky, so I'm not able to
Hi,
project some kind
Michael.
of go on video. Yeah, good to see you. I'm really happy to see you. Okay, so my name is Michael Ansa, and I'm here to really inspire you guys on this mentorship journey. I hope that you'll be able to choose this path because it has really done tremendous thing for me, or have been very impactful in my life. And so I'm here to just share with you my success story or my story. I hope that it would inspire you for this program ahead. So my name is Michael Ansa. I'm an HR professional currently with Ghana. Talent, provide the right culture, and also the right leadership to be able to succeed in the marketplace. So I've been an HR person for 7 years now, and I'm hoping to move on to something bigger soon. Okay, so how did my mentorship journey start? Right. After school, I was fortunate to do service with Maersk, right? So previously it was Damco. So after service, I get to serve on contract and then finally get the permanent employment. So really excited to see what the future holds. So I've been doing the job for quite some time. You realize they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I was there one day, I was thinking, Michael, I mean, what can you do to change this whole thing? What can you do differently to get better? What can you do to actually accelerate your career growth or your career path? Because you've been doing the same thing and you're actually at the same position. What can I do differently? So the thing that came to mind was mentorship. You need a mentor. So then I started to research about it. Okay, so if you want to do something, it's good to learn, to hear from those who have been there before, right? And they would, help you with advice because they've actually experienced it. So definitely they're sharing with you their experience automatically would give you more information on how to go about yours. It's not like it's a different or it's a new thing. No, people have been there before. So they'll be able to give you some insight on how to go about it. So I approached this manager of mine, who happened to be on the call. So that's Elder Frankenstein, to speak to him about this, right? I mean, I need this guidance. I need some sort of mentorship to help me accelerate in my career path. So just as explained, right, more of a program where more of a structured format where he sent me a form to complete and what have you in terms of my expectation, what do I want to achieve. So as at that time, I had issues with communication. Trust me, I'm not able to communicate to you like this, right? It will be something else, right? So I realized that for me to grow in my career, I need to be more effective with my communication skills. I need to develop my interpersonal skills. I need to be confident. Presentation skills, I need to improve on that. So expectation wise, I told them this is what I want to achieve. And like he said in his quote, right? Mentors are not supposed to spoon feed you. They are to guide you on how to go about things. So then the question is, so why do you want to improve this? How are you in terms of delivering on this? What do you want to do differently? So through the questioning, then you're able to come up with, because he has to make it more of a tailor-made solution for you. Because the way he would mentor, let's say, will not be the same thing he will mentor me. Because is different from myself. So we need to make sure that what you are getting would really suit your style of doing things rather than, more of a straight jacket or yes, all size fit all kind of, or one size fit all kind of thing. So we went through the process. I think some of the advice was, okay, maybe you need some education in here, right? So one of the recommendations he gave me was, if you want to improve as an HR person, right? Maybe you need some certification here. You need to improve in terms of your educational aspects, kind of. So through that discussion, I mean, I managed to enroll in a certified institution where they train HR personnel, right, in Ghana here, and also enrolled in another institution which is in the US, where they also train HR, personnel. Because if you want to go in that direction, you will need some sort of documentation, or you need some sort of backing. So training me, or having discussion on how to be more confident, how to be more vocal, how to communicate effectively, and what have you. I also enrolled in all this institution to add additional knowledge to it. So to cut a long story short, I would say that I'm a certified HR professional with a school in the US. I'm also a certified HR professional with Ghana, I mean in Ghana here. So you have to say that for you to be for you to be recognized, right, you need to be either a champion in your house and then overseas, not totally focus on outside and leave inside. So this has actually opened doors for me. So now presentation skills have really improved in that. I do presentation every day. I mean, getting COVID, you have to be doing virtual presentations every day because of my role too. So I've really improved in how I do my presentation, right? Communication too, I've really improved in that interpersonal skills. One thing you mentioned to me is that if you're an HR person and people don't come to you, you failed. FT, thanks for that. I always remember that. If people don't come to you, you failed, because people should come to you with their issues. People should come to you with what is wrong with them, right? People should share things with you freely. And if people don't come to you, then I don't know what you're doing here. And one thing you need to develop is active listening. And I believe that I learned that also through that mentorship session that I had with FT. So to cut long story short, there's opening a lot of opportunities for me. Previously, I wasn't with Nestle, but because of that opportunity that I had and me being able to develop my skills, I believe that opened the doors for organizations to actually come to poach me. So currently, I'm with Nestle, and then in a month to come, I will be with another organization. I'm not shared with this with the FT, forgive me, but in a month to come, I'll be in an organization where the opportunity is quite bigger. It's a very bigger scope, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity that I've had through mentorship. So guys, this is to inspire you, right? Mentorship is really the big deal. I even did some write-up on LinkedIn just to show appreciation for my mentors, right? For actually what they are bringing, or for actually guiding me on my career path. It helps you to accelerate your career path. You have no idea. It's like you're doing something, you are learning bit by bit, but mentorship accelerated to a different level because they have been there, and then they are going to give you all the, I won't say tricks, but they're going to help you to actually propel you in the path that you've actually chosen. I hope this story that I've shared, or this has been inspiration to you. And I hope I could join you guys tomorrow. I mean, I would see if it's possible, but I hope that you would really sign up to this program, because mentorship is a real deal. Even to add this, I mean, when I joined Nestle, it's something that I even added onto what they have there. So I managed to introduce some mentorship training for we have graduate trainees, and I realized it wasn't part of what they had. So I have to, based on my knowledge that I've had, I mean, working with Melda Frankishen, managed to introduce mentorship for the graduate trainees, and it's doing wonders for them, right? So team on the call, this is to motivate you, this is to inspire you. Mentorship is a real deal. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, I'm sure. Okay, so you take the question, and then if there's anything for me to answer.
Thank you, Michael. I think that you really enjoyed calling me that. It's first time I've heard you call me that. But,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Michael Ansan of Nestle, for now, for also opening up and coming to join us this evening to share his experience with us. We'll take the questions at the end. You can already drop in your questions directly to my co-host, Julia, or to Sele, or to Ebo. You can just type in, or you can actually just type it in the chat box. We'll check it. So we've had and Michael from the work side. Our next mentoring friend had a mentoring from not from the work side, from a different environment. I would like to invite Kukua Gezi to share her experience with mentoring with us, and also to see how we can see things differently from a different angle. So Kukua Gezi, please.
All right, thank you. Please pardon me, I'm on my way home for work, so I've just stopped so that I can just speak to you. So my name is
Andrea.
Hi. So my name is Andrea Kukwai J. Gezi. I work with Absa Bank in the risk department. And I had my mentoring session in the university, actually when I was in my final year in school, level 400. And I heard about this mentoring session from I was in the business school. So the business school decided to organize a formal mentoring session for people who were interested. And I think that I always say that it was so timely for me because I was at that point in my life where I'll be graduating in a year. I really don't know what to do with my life, and a lot of people meet you at that point and like, oh, so what do you want to do after school? And it's not okay to not know, I don't know how many people can relate. I was at that point in my life. And so I was really thinking what I could do to prepare myself. I know I want to go into the corporate space. And one reason why I joined, for my background, for instance, my dad was in the army. He's not very corporate with all this, I'm in a bank now. My mom was a teacher. I don't think I really had people with that kind of experience to share with me. And so that was one reason why I jumped onto the program. And even before I go into that, I think that this is something key that I should share with everyone because I've generally been a shy type. I consider myself that way. And I just want to say that there are so many opportunities out there, as much as it may not seem so. And so you have to really be able to put yourself out there and raise your hand up to grab opportunities because things will not come and sit on your lap just as you want. You have to make the effort to get it. So because the program, because of the number of mentors they had, the program was limited number. So more like a first come, first serve basis. And my friends I was with didn't seem interested. So somehow, I don't know if I should say I went behind their back, but I signed on to the program. And I think that is one of the best things that have ever happened for me in my life. So just to share my experience, I think that mentioned before, but it's very key that before you go into a mentoring session, you have to have a goal of something that you want to achieve. It's okay if it's not firmed up or, you don't have it like in full terms, but you have to have an idea of what you want to achieve so that you can actually be helped in the right direction. So for my mentor, for example, as our first session we shared our goals and our expectations and all of that. And I think that really shaped the kind of direction and the kind of mentorship that I had from him. I think that if we all, there's so many reasons why you should go into mentorship, right? But for me, it's been a game changer. And I just want to share some examples because that's for the reasons you can even check on Google and you find a lot. But for example, I had a session, I had times with my mentor where I'm going for an interview and he was out of the country because of work. He would actually call me on WhatsApp and help me prepare for an interview, And I think that those are things that even your parents, as much as they love you, will not do that, because as again, you people will relate. Your parents will say, how was school? What was your grade? Why didn't you do well? That's it. Nobody really takes the time to appreciate what your challenges are and how you can overcome it, So sessions with my mentor, he say, okay, so which courses are difficult? Why is it difficult? So what can we do? What can we do differently? And just, I don't know, to say like a testimony. At the time that I met my mentor, my grades were just okay. I didn't think they were bad or terrible. But we had a discussion. He's like, you can get a first class. I'm just sharing this as an example, because at the time I met him, which was barely a year to finish school, I was at an upper somewhere comfortable. He's like, you can do it. You can get a first class. Why not try for that? And so we started really aiming at that. And to have someone really invested in your education and in your future guiding you, it really made a difference. I don't know, the final year, I just had good grades. I just jumped into a first class. I mean, I don't think on my own I could have done that. Maybe not because I'm smart, but sometimes the guidance is very important, You may have people who would advise you, but it's very key when you have people at the top who have had their experiences and can tell you what is relevant in the current time, because times change. And as much as people may have told you things, the current situation may be different, So it's very key. I would share another example that has gone with me till now. I remember, for the people, some of my mates who had this mentorship opportunity, most of them, they are thinking about connection after school, so they are thinking about someone that can help them get a job, and that's it. But I think for me, it felt like, okay, it's a good thing if it happens, but I want to be able to work and prepare myself to be able to get a job myself. People say, oh, there are no jobs in Ghana, But I think that my mentor went really like the extra mile to prepare me. So after school, I didn't wait to get national service posting. I applied for a job. I went through the interview. I got a national service interview. And even the current job I have, I would say that is a long way because of the investment that my mentor made in me. Because I remember when I got my national service job, it was a good company. So at the time, I didn't even care what I was going to do. It's just like, oh, I'm going to work here. So I remember I called my mentor and told him. He said, okay, that's nice, but what are you going to do there? And I didn't even know what I was going to do there. And I think he said a key thing, that as much as it's good to work in a good company, you have to know what you are going to do and how it will propel you in your career. And I think that's another thing that it has stuck with me even till date. Even when I finished my service and I was looking for a job, I'm looking for something that will shape my future. You're not just going to do something that you won't learn, that you won't progress, So when you have people to just drop these nuggets of wisdom that you can really ponder about, you realize that when you're making decisions, you make calculated decisions. You just jump onto any train anyhow, because there are things that you really have to consider. And so I'll just want to say that, again, this is an opportunity for those who have to get onto the mentoring program starting tomorrow. Really take advantage of it. You have to begin to take advantages of opportunities as they come so that you're not left behind, And so that's just what I want to say, to encourage all of you. Please take advantage, not only from this session, but life throws opportunities at us. Sometimes you may not see, you have to pray for the ability to be able to see the opportunities and jump at them so that you can progress and you can succeed. All right. So I don't know if there are any questions. I'll be here to take them. Thank you very much. And I want to say thank you to my mentor. I'm sure the person is here, for how really well they have directed me up to this point and how I still think about some of the things they have said to me in the past. It's very, very, I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I like to call you Kukwa, just because of my daughter. So Kukwa, Andre, thank you. Thank you. And it's good to have this other side, someone who had a mentoring program at the school level, because you have students here. And I'm happy to hear that mentoring helped you not just shape your future, provided guidelines for what to do with career and all that, but even academic work also, the testimony that you shared, that from second upper, comfortable second upper, being able to make a first class. We salute you. Well done. But we appreciate you sharing that with us. Before we go on, are there any questions so far? Otherwise, we would like to have the rep from the mentorship board just give us an insight of what to expect, and then if there are any general questions. But for the three mentoring friends, or for our three facilitators, whatever we want to call them, that are on sharing their experiences, if you have any specific question to either Kukua, Ya, or Michael, or to all of them at once also, please, you can have a few minutes, and then we'll just at 8 invite the rep from the mentorship board to share the insight for what to expect tomorrow. So Sele, Ebo, Julie, I don't know that you have received any questions. If anyone also wants to say anything before we have the rep from the mentorship board, we can have that now.
Yes, please. Happy Sabbath, everyone. Please, there's one question here. Please, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Sele. Please go ahead.
Okay. So is mentorship all about career and profession? If no, I would request we inculcate all the aspects and areas of mentorship in our program. Thank you. Is mentorship all about career and profession? If no, I will request we inculcate all the aspects and areas of mentorship in our program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sele. I think this is a question across board. It's mentorship about career and whether education or whatever. I think that like the course that I started with, mentoring is more like a guide. It's about every part of our life. So we like the comment that the answer. I think the question and there was an answer that if it's not, if yes, we would have asked them for something else. But if no, as we are saying, then we need to add all that. I believe when the rep from the board comes, or tomorrow especially, we would hear a lot more. It's not just about career. It's not just about your education. It's more about you. And you, it's a lot more than what we just see. And tomorrow, the one leading out, especially in the afternoon, you can't miss that. So whoever has a question, please tomorrow, this will go into much detail tomorrow, especially, so don't miss out. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Shen.
Yes, please.
I'd just like to add to what you said, if that's okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay, I think from my experience, when it comes to mentorship, it's about anything, when you identify a gap in your life, it can be spiritual, religious, whatever gap that you identify in your life, that you can acknowledge to yourself that you can't overcome on your own. And so you need some help, you need some guidance. You can just get a mentor. It doesn't even have to be someone who is older than you, but some people have their experiences that it can impact on you. You can just take advantage of such people. I just want to add that. Thank you.
That was very beautiful. Thank you. Any other question, comments, addition, or different question?
So I think so. Just to add to, hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, Michael, we can.
So just to add to the point, it's not only about your career path. So mentorship is both personal and professional, right? So whatever angle that you think you want to develop in, I mean, it could be career, it could be your personal life, what have you, that you need directions or you need advice on. Besides, I mean, we don't only live in a world of employment or job. we have our personal life too as well, right? What we are going through, I mean, our own corners and what have you. So it could be in diverse ways. So it's not only about career that you can actually get a mentor on, your personal life as well. You think you want to speak to somebody just to help you on in terms of what you're going through, to help you with find solutions and even get better. Yeah. So it's not only about career. All right. Thanks.
Good. Thank you,
And
Michael.
hello, FT.
Hi,
Yes, please. I also like to add something. It might sound very ridiculous, but yes, you can even find a mentor for your hair growth. Like, yeah, you want to grow your hair, you have someone you're looking up to. Yes, you can walk up to the person and then ask for help. So it's really about everything. Your hair growth, maybe you have acne on your face, as tiny as it is, like anything you identify that you feel you need external help or you need some help to get things better done. Yes, you can. So it can be your hair, it can be acne on your face, or it can be your, like, anything that you can even think about. Like, it might sound very silly, but yes, you need help. So yes, and it's mentorship. It's not always the serious ones. Career, you go and sit there, it's like, I don't even know what you want to talk about. Yes, just go and sit before your mentor and tell him, hey, I've been having like hair loss. What do I need to do? What product should I use? You understand? Yes. So like I said, make it interesting and everything that you need to talk about. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I have a question here. And sorry if anyone would add on to, I think we just with time also. I have a question here for all three of you. All three of you talked about. So the question is time. Do you have to commit a lot of time to this program? If you do not have enough time, do you not sign up? How do you make time for the program? How did you make time for your mentoring program?
Okay. So I think I'll start and my other colleagues would continue from there. So the success to a good mentorship is the commitment of the mentee, right? For a mentorship program to succeed or to be effective, for you to achieve your aim, you have to be committed. You, the mentee, you have to be committed. Most mentors, of course, they also have their daily work that they are doing. They also have their things they're doing. So most of the times, they might not have enough time, right? But you have to be committed in terms of following up with them, checking up on them, making sure that you are up on time. Whatever has to be done, you do it. So you need to be committed. So time is of the essence. You have to make sure that you find time. Without that, you will not have a very good mentorship session. It will be like they said, mentorship is good, so you just want to try, but it will not be effective for you. So you need to make sure that you make time for it. You need to be very committed to it. Otherwise, it will not really be that impactful for you. So time is very important. You need to you need to find time to make it happen. Yeah, you may comment if you have something.
Okay. Hi everyone again. This is my maxless face. And yes, so with the time, it will be very interesting if you, the mentee, is bold to say you do not have time. Like the mentor you are going in for, I don't know which mentor you're looking up to, but my mentor has no time. But if he was able to schedule and make time for me, then where is my excuse that I don't have time? What am I doing? And like, really, what am I doing? So once you identify that you need this help, you need to make time for it. Because if you are looking for that luxury of time to be able to do this, you will never find it. And mentorship is it's an intentional program. It's an intentional thing that you've told yourself you want to do because you want to achieve something. So if you are intentionally telling yourself, setting deadlines for yourself, setting goals to achieve something, you don't have the time to commit to it, then I don't think you are really ready for the mentorship you are actually talking about. Maybe you are doing it because someone has coerced you into doing it, or maybe you are doing it because you've heard that, oh, your friend is doing it, and then you also want to do it. But if you know the benefits of it, if you know what it's going to do to you, what's going to do in your life and all that, and you know how much it's going to impact you, I don't think time will be one of the excuses you ever share. That's my part, because I think there were times that I would go and sit there in anticipation for my meeting with my mentor, and then he has a meeting, you understand? And even in those times, he tries to squeeze time out, even if it's 5 minutes. He will squeeze that 5 minutes to go through something with me. So if he's able to do and go on this extra mile, and I come back to him with the excuse that I do not have time, or I was so busy in the week that I could not achieve what we targeted to achieve, then I don't think it will even speak well of me as a mentee. So if you are ready to be a mentee, you should be able to, like we said, you should be able to commit to it. Not just anything, like commit your time, your dedication, everything, because you need it. You need it to achieve whatever goal you have set for yourself. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so this is Andrea here. For me, I think because I was in school, realistically, I had a much more flexible time, because if it's not lectures, which is not the whole day anyway, then it's probably you learning or something which you have control over. So for me, it wasn't too difficult. But again, like they've all said, if as busy as my mentor is, he can have the time for me, then why not create the time? Again, I just want to add that you are working with a mentor. He's not a robot, so you have to communicate. I think at the beginning you would agree how often to meet, when and how, but if for whatever reason, the time agreed can't happen, you just have to communicate and say, can we reschedule? Because I think there were times that we had to reschedule our meetings. You can reschedule if you can achieve a goal for the week because of genuine reasons. You just communicate. You're working with a human being, not a robot. And at the end of the day, I think mentorship benefits more of the mentee than the mentor. If the person is interested to help you, they would understand. But I think another key thing, I don't know how the organizers of the mentorship would take this, but I think another key advice I would give is that time is a two-way thing. As much as you are committed, the person also has to show commitment to you. So if you should start your mentorship and you realize that the person doesn't make time for you at all, you ask them, and after you trying for a while, you're not getting any feedback and you're not achieving whatever you set out to achieve, I think you can just go to the organizers and say that, can I please have a different mentor, because you have to benefit at the end of the day. So that's something you should have at the back of your mind. It's not cast in stone, Yeah, thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Kukua. Thank you, and thank you, Michael. I don't know if anyone has a question or wants to contribute to this, but like you rightly said, spot on. If you don't have the time, don't get into. And in this world, nobody has time. You make time. And if this is of benefit to you, you see this going to help shape whatever, whether it is a spiritual guidance, whether it is your career, whether it is school, whatever it is, you know that this is going to add value to me. You make time for that. At the end of the day, you need to be able to say that I went into this and this is what the impact it had on me. So if you don't commit time and effort and really resources to it, I don't think it works. And I like the last bit. You're also working with people who are going to be your mentors, who are going to spend their time to help develop you. And you don't want to, for lack of better word, waste their time. If you don't have the time, then you are going to waste someone else's time. I'm sure that they could put their time to a better use if you are not committed to being a good mentee. But I believe that from this evening and from tomorrow, we would understand better. And once we commit to this program, we are going to make time for it. Any question, any comments? Otherwise, I would like to call the rep from the mentorship board. I think Eda Brobe is here, and he would give us an insight of what to expect and then also throw out the general invitation for all of us to join tomorrow. The good news about tomorrow is that tomorrow morning we would have, it will be face-to-face, it will also be on Zoom. Tomorrow afternoon again, we would like as many as possible to be at the auditorium, but also be on Zoom. So I was going to the Namu, yeah, and Michael and Kukwa, if you have the time, we'll share the link and you can ask your friends to join also. But I would like to invite, there are no questions. Sele, do you have any question your end, or Julia?
No, please, I don't.
All right, okay, good. So we'll move on. If you have questions after we have the insight from the mentorship board, we can continue with the questions and answers. So don't hesitate to send them to myself, to Julia, to Sele, or to Chumi. So without much ado, I'd like to invite Dabrobe to now take us through what to expect tomorrow.
Okay, happy Sabbath, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Very
Happy
loud.
Sabbath.
Happy
Yeah.
day.
Please, I see Animedu. I'm sure my chairman is at Animedu. So if he's here, then maybe he speaks and then I add a little bit. If he's not here, I take it briefly. Edda, please, are you around or take permission from my chairman? Okay, I'm sure he's not around. So, like as we have already said,
hello, Seth.
Yes, Edda.
Yes. Good evening. Good evening to you, Seth. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I'm around. You have my permission to give them that briefing. You speak. Maybe after you have spoken, I may come in. If there's any question to answer, and I need to come in, I will do so.
Thank you very much, Edda. Okay, so I take it briefly, like Michael and Kukua and Ya have already said, there's more to expect from mentorship. And I listen to a lot of people, I meet a lot of friends, and I ask them, what's your secret or how have you been? And they said, I was mentored by so and so. I was mentored by so and so. So it tells all of us that one, there's somebody who have done what you want to do, and therefore have a bit of experience that can accelerate you. I like the word accelerate. Yes, you can get there in 10 years or 15 years, but if you have this mentorship, it catapults you, it accelerates you, it moves you faster. And so that is our hope, that we all want to get somewhere. With a mentorship guide and with the people that God has given to us as SESDAC, we believe that you can get accelerated to whichever destination you want to go. So please put that in mind, that we are very key about helping you reach the goal that you want to in a more accelerated form. And I would like to add that Christ or God is the center of everything that we want to do here. So first, as a church, this is not a corporate world. And so whichever way we want to go, put it in mind that Jesus Christ is our first mentor. Everything that we need to know, he has it. And so once we pick him, the rest follows, and the human part will be added as well. I believe that from tomorrow, I wouldn't want to talk too much because we have a highly efficient and a highly knowledgeable person to meet us tomorrow to give us briefings of our expectations and what is expected of us, and also how to go about everything. So I wouldn't want to go much about it. But the two things I would say is, wherever you want to go in this life, there's somebody who have started it or have gone there. And all the great guys you see around, if you get closer to them, he will say, I was mentored by somebody. Sometimes it's even a silent mentorship. He's just watching the person and growing with that. And so please take advantage of it. Ask questions anyhow you want to ask it at any time, and seek for answers. I believe that by the grace of God, SESDAC will come strong in the near future because we are doing this program. And I believe we have all the resources you can imagine from all the elders, the leaders. You know yourself. And so please, let's take advantage. Don't let anything stop you from taking advantage. And it's a short and long term. So we are there for you at any time. And we believe that with God, you can reach the heights that you want to reach. And I believe that with your commitment as well, you can reach anything that you want to do. Here, we will help you to accelerate. We will help you to move faster and also get to the height. And I believe that God will bless all of us as a church and as a people, and even as a nation, because I believe that if we do this very well, very soon we have great leaders coming out of our church. And that is our hope, to see people like Daniel, Moses, Joseph, and all that really playing at a very high level or at a very greater height, but they are children of God. That is our objective, to help and then to make you reach to the highest level, at the highest level you can think, international, local, and wherever, to go there and also to preach what you have learned from God as well. So please remember people like Joseph, Daniel, Moses, and all the people you can think about. They were there at very high level, but they were all children of God. And I believe if you take this program seriously, in the next 10, 20 years, I believe we can even get a president as a Seventh-day Adventist. And I believe God will help us. So this is a little that I will add, and I reserve everything that you need to know also for tomorrow, right from the morning to the afternoon. A lot of information will be shared. I myself am looking for mentorship. So if anyone wants to help me, you can. And all of us, we have to help ourselves achieve and build a better working world and a better world for ourselves and for the people out there. Thank you very much, elders, and all of us that have made it. And we hope to engage ourselves to make it better and bigger for ourselves and for the people out there. Thank you so much. And Edanyimedu, Edaishen. So that's a little I can add. And I believe tomorrow we have a lot for the church and for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Since the Edanyimedu is on, I would like to invite him to say a few words. I'm also very excited, looking forward to tomorrow. But we know that it's going to be great, because this is not just an ordinary mentorship program. This is one that we believe God has purposed for this time to happen for a good reason. And I always believe in this. Even if it is to the benefit of one person, we have still made God proud. So Edanyimedu, please, I know that you've had spent a lot of time into this, and tomorrow would see, but please, any insight to share with us just to get us excited for tomorrow?
Yes, let me thank you so much for this opportunity. And also, I want to thank Seth for what he has said. I wouldn't want to say much because tomorrow is the day. And we have invited an expert, somebody who's HR person, and he's in that area. And when even the elders, started thinking of this program, we didn't know much about it. And she was the person who came. That was during the COVID period, and we had to listen to her about twice or so on Zoom. So she's the person who is coming to lead us tomorrow. Tomorrow we have just 2 hours to do all that. I'm not too sure whether we'll be able to exhaust all the issues that we have tabled for discussion or for presentation. But I pray that we are able to do that within the 2 hours. If we are not able to do that, there is another opportunity. I heard that Frank saying that we're launching it tomorrow. Tomorrow is not actually for the lunch. The lunch is coming on 24th. Tomorrow is the general presentation that she's going to do, for all of us. And then on 24th, let me tell you this. Tomorrow, after you have listened to the expert, we want to distribute some forms to you that you need to complete. If you are interested, then you must fill a form showing your interest. And then as you fill the form, we expect that you also indicate the gaps in the areas that you want to be mentored in. And then the mentors would also have to, potential mentors will also have to fill form and also show their strengths. And then we try to do some matching. We'll do the matching. Tomorrow, you may hear that the church has a role to play. It is not just the committee that has come up with anything. It is a whole church's program, and the church will have a role to play. Potential mentors will also have a role to play, and then potential mentees also have a role to play. There was this question that came up that, and when the answer was coming, I heard many of the young man and then the young ladies who spoke that if you don't have time, you don't really try, because you need to be committed to whatever you'll be doing there. And again, I heard one of them saying that, yes, is the likelihood that at a point a mentee may want to change his or her mentor. Yes, that opportunity is there. We realize that as you interact, as you meet during sessions, there might be some challenges which might lead to one saying that, no, I can no longer go further with this person and I want to change. I want to stop there. That can lead to some problems. And then we have some grievances, a way of managing such grievances, and then procedures for addressing these grievances. You hear all that. I wouldn't want to say much, because tomorrow, if you are there, you go through all that I'm talking about. But what I want to say now is that you are lucky you have this opportunity. We did not have it, some of us, because when we were growing, we didn't have people even to mentor us, where we were brought up, where we grew up, and the institutions in which we served. We didn't have such opportunities. And then some of us who really wanted some mentoring, did it on the quiet. Just as the Brube said, he mentioned that sometimes there can be silent, mentoring. That is true. We didn't have the opportunity to have maybe a Deshan or a Brube or so and so to mentor us, but we did it ourselves. It was a matter of observing people. You are lucky. We want to have a structured program, and therefore we expect that many of you will be present tomorrow, especially the youth, because you are the ones growing. You are growing up, and you need to be guided. So we expect that tomorrow you come. So let me end here and then say thank you for coming to listen to what we want to do tomorrow. And then also thank Andrea, Nana Mwakwa, and then Ansa for all the presentation, for the talking, for the guidance that they have provided. I think we have enough now to motivate us or to spur us on to be present tomorrow. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Brother Nyimedu, and thanks for the correction also. So the lunch will happen, but tomorrow it's more of getting more insights, and especially in the afternoon when you come, the expert, you will know that indeed it's a real expert. It's not like they will call on radio and say this is an expert in this and they don't know what they are talking about. You, as soon as you hear the expert speak, I have listened to this expert and I know that this expert knows the topic and will deal with it and will make sure that you just don't sign up, but you get yourself into something that would help change your life forever. By and large, we are bringing our discussions to a close. I'd like to ask if anyone, I've not seen any question, Sele, also with you, but if you have a question or a comment, a contribution, you can unmute yourself, and then you can be able to speak to the discussion. And then we take maybe last words from our guests who joined us, and then we will bring our discussions to a close. So if you want to make a contribution, you want to make any additions or ask a question, please unmute yourself and then speak to the discussion. Thank you. Yeah, we can't hear you. Okay. All right. Just a few more minutes. I'll give up to 8:30 and then we'll be wrapping up.
Uncle Frank.
Yes, please.
Well, I'm asking an interesting question.
Please go ahead.
Can we also make provision for helping somebody who is silently being mentored the wrong way?
The person is silently being mentored the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'll have to leave this to the expert too. I have to call in the individual and the rest. The person is silently being mentored the wrong way. Can you expand it a little bit? How is this?
No, I mean, he's something that he thought was a very good habit or trait. That's what the young man thought. Okay. But it is something that would destroy his or her life. Can we look at it?
Normally you see people that people look up to so much, you know, and then they think that there's something great in this person. They go there to go and learn something good, but in the end, they are picking things that are not right.
Yeah, and especially when it is from a distance, maybe that is what they are saying is a silence mentoring.
Oh, okay.
When it's from a distance, you don't approach the person, but you admire the way the person does certain things, and you are learning from the way he speaks, the way he does his things, the way he's progressing, all those things are about the person. And it is, of course, you may learn the wrong things altogether. if you are you are taking up. But what I think about distance mentoring is that because it is not arranged, it's the mentee who has thoughtfully chosen to learn something from that person. And it goes through a lot of analysis before somebody can decide that, oh, even this person doesn't know I'm learning from him, but I will still learn from that person, from him or her. So I think I think it's more difficult to choose to learn wrong attitude from that, because that one there is no arrangement in between. You have sat down, analyzed the person, and realized that, oh, these traits, these qualities of this person, I want to learn. And it's difficult to go wrong. If you go wrong, then you decided to go wrong. That's my quick point.
Okay, Frank, can I come in here?
Yes, sir.
That's a very interesting question anyway. I share what the Juma said, because it is you. It is you. Tomorrow, our mentees and mentors will learn that it is the mentor who will decide the person he or she wants to mentor him or her. Are you getting my point? We will not impose anybody on anyone. That is why we're asking that you indicate your gaps, and then the mentors will also indicate their strengths. The matching that we will do, it is not the church or it is not the committee that will have to force or do the matching. We'll first of all have to study what is on paper, and then we see. And it's always the mentor who looks for somebody to mentor him. Sorry, the mentee who looks for somebody to mentor him. Now, even when this structured one, where there's this arrangement between the mentor and the mentee, yes, even there, the mentee can even learn something wrongly. You see, it can happen. What things can happen when you're doing it suddenly can also happen when you're doing it even publicly and then officially. It can happen. It all depends on you, the mentee. So if you see that Juma as a very good person, he's good in this area, he does this, he does these things so nicely, and I want to learn from him. You are going there to learn something good from him. So if you see anything bad that he's doing, why do you have to pick it? You don't pick it. So it becomes very difficult to learn a wrong thing from him. Then it means you yourself, you are not serious, you don't know what you're about. But if you really know what you're about, it's very difficult to learn the wrong thing. This is just to add to what the Juma said.
Thank you. Thank you, Yimedu.
Yeah,
I think
just a quick comment, the general comment. I think we are all encouraging one another to join this program because it's beneficial. But what I want to mention is that even though people have benefited immensely in mentorship program, there is no magic wand in it that once you enter, you are going to achieve all your objectives. It calls for, as all the presenters mentioned, dedication and you actively working through the activities to achieve the goals you have set for yourself. So we need to take note of this. It calls for commitment and hard working. There is no magic wand. So that is what I want to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juma. And I think in one of the presentations, I think it's Andrea who mentioned this, that you need to set the goals. You need to making maybe the wrong moves. You need to ensure that once you have set the goals, you know what you are there for. And you need to know whether you are going along the right path. The question, how do we help? If we observe, if others also, you see that this person may be learning something or trying to copy something blindly and it's not helping, I think that you also find out, I think you can find a way to bring the person back to reality, to let them know that they need to maybe change their focus and get things to work well. I want to thank everyone who joined this evening. We'll have these questions, we'll have more of these questions tomorrow in the morning, in the afternoon, from 3 p.m. We'll be start around 4, but from 3:30 we'll already be getting together. If for any reason you're out of the country or your work is taking you somewhere and you can't be there physically, we would entreat that you join on Zoom. Otherwise, we want to encourage as many people as possible to come. We know that this is a discussion that will continue because mentoring does not end until the end. Let me put it that way. So I'd like to again thank everyone, especially those who visited us, and especially our guests this evening. I'd like to give them maybe say a minute each, just to say their final words to us, and then I will bring our program to an end. I'd like to start with Kukwa, and then Michael, and then Yaa.
All right, thank you. I think we've said it all. So just as final words, I just want to encourage everyone ahead of tomorrow to spend this evening thinking through which gaps you have in your life that you want help with, so that you'll be guided to get the mentor that can help you through the journey. And once you do get that mentor, please put in the work to be able to achieve your goals that you have set. And at the end of the day, I'm sure we'll come back with testimonies on our journey. Thank you.
Okay, so what all has been said again, what I will add is that go in there with your goals, right? Go in there with your expectations and make sure you are committed to it. For me, the commitment is very key, right? If you're not committed, forget it. You need to make sure that you are going all out for it, because your commitment will make sure that you are able to achieve that that you went into to get it. So for it to be more impactful, then you have to be committed and dedicated to it. So go all out for it, and I wish you all guys good luck. Thanks.
Yeah. Finally.
Hi, FC.
Is any final words?
Sorry, I got some customers coming in. So my final words will be, it won't be any different from what Michael said. Go all out if you think you're ready for it, and don't let anyone push you into it, because if you're not ready, you might not enjoy it. So analyze yourself, and then the areas in which you think you need help, and go all in, prepared and ready to execute whatever task that is going to be given you. And make sure you are committed as much as your mentor is committed, and give your best. And one thing you shouldn't forget is no question is silly. Ask it, because if you do not ask the question, you cannot find answers to it. No matter how silly you think the question is, just be bold and be confident. Ask it, laugh about it, and enjoy your journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. We can't thank you enough. I know that we've taken your time. Yeah, still at work and still making time for us. God richly bless you, Michael, and Sam as well. Thank you so much. And Andrea Kukwa Gezi. I like the Kukwa a lot. Thank you also, even having to stop by the way to speak to us. And I know that giving back, it's a lot, but God will richly bless you. I'd like to hand over to my co-host, Julia, to take over and bring to an end. Just a few announcements. Tomorrow, church starts at 9:30. Please let us be prompt. Let's make sure that we are coming. Invite a friend. Make sure that in the afternoon, when we have our expert also, starting at 4 prompt, please make sure that you bring someone along. You may impact their lives in a way that you would never know. Thank you very much again to everyone who came and all the contributors also. Thank you all. Julia, please take over.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mrs. Yamaho, Miss Andrea Gazy, and Mr. Michael Ansa for joining us this evening. We have been blessed by your presence. So for our closing prayer, I would like to call Elder Henry Juma. Elder Henry Juma, please kindly help us close today's session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shall we bow for a word of prayer? Dear Lord, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for the knowledge you have given us, the insight in preparation for tomorrow's program. We pray, mighty God, that you guide us and see us through to a successful end. We know at the end you have a purpose for this program. We therefore ask you to grant us the insight, the wisdom, the commitment to this program so that we will all enjoy the benefits at the end. May you bless us through tonight and see us with healthy tomorrow morning as we gather in worship. We thank you for we know you have answered our prayers because we have asked through Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
Those still on the road, safe journey.